This episode starts with a voiceover by Una. It goes like this, actually. I'll just go ahead and read the whole thing. No matter how many stars there are in the sky, no matter how many galaxies swirl beyond our own, no matter what the mathematical probabilities or the number of times we say we are not alone in the universe, our first visit from the stars is always the province of children's stories and science fiction. First contact with aliens lives squarely in the impossible. First contact is just a dream. Until one day, it isn't.
Yeah, I really love this scene, the way they shot it. Having the Kylie people all kind of with their backs to the camera, so you're not actually knowing that they're an alien to us species until, like, right after that quote said, and the lady turns around, and there's Una's ship hanging out there in space.
The very familiar shape of a Federation ship. At first, they have us thinking that we're talking about humans' first contact from somebody. And of course, it turns out we're talking about us first contacting the Kylie. We kind of jump now over to Pike, who's cooking breakfast for what appears to be a friend he had a sleepover with, perhaps?
Yeah, Captain Patel.
I kept thinking they were saying Patel the entire time I was watching that.
Yeah, it's B. Patel. Although, to be fair, when they first showed her laying naked in the bed, I thought for sure that was going to be Una.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, I could see that, yeah. Just got a shapely back and some long dark hair. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, there's not a lot of context for the image you're seeing until she comes out, but when I first saw it, I was like, is that Una? Come on now. What are you doing, Pike?
Well, he's maybe not making some of his best decisions, but he's not violating that directive just yet. One of the things I found interesting here is that he is watching The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, basically 1951's idea of what our first contact might look like.
Mm-hmm. It was also directed by Robert Wise, who is the man who directed Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Oh, that's who we have to thank for that.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I found interesting here is, of course, because when we were first starting this show, I wanted to compare the episode The Cage to the movie Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
And as this episode progresses, the more I want to compare it directly to The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, I could see it probably having some parallels, which, I mean, probably on purpose, too, since
yeah, I'm sure
they integrated the movie in with the episode.
Yeah. I also always noticed that in Pike's quarters, he used to have a giant three-way giant TV set console in his room, so it makes perfect sense to me he'd have a huge TV in his living room.
Yeah, I kind of like the way his cabin was outfitted. Like, you could take somebody from 2020 and not a whole lot would seem out of place in there.
Yeah, even the telephone is kind of an outdated elephant in the room because it was one that dates back to the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, that rotary type phone.
Yeah.
They had in there.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Captain Patel gives him a hard time over watching the Day the Earth Stood Still again. So I have to figure he watches this quite a bit. Pike is looking a little extra shaggy here. So I think not only does he watch The Day the Earth Stood Still, but maybe old reruns of Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, he looks like he's been through the ringer a bit.
A little bit. And we are kind of seeing a Pike who's very similar to who we saw in The Cage. He seems a little unsure about returning to Starfleet.
Yeah, and again, this is what pisses me off about this current iteration of Pike. At no point do they ever call back to any of that.
Yeah, I hadn't even really considered that.
I mean, I still don't understand why, like, now obviously in this entire episode, we get a more familiar Pike for sure than what the second season of Discovery was like. But again, like, there's even certain scenes in here that the scene is set up a little bit like it was in The Cage, but at no point, man, I can't believe here I am again, feeling this down, going through another bout of crap.
Yeah, I haven't felt like this since, well, that time we found Talos 4. Yeah, it would be nice to see a little more callback, probably. Captain Patel tells him that they can talk about whatever it is he doesn't want to talk about, which he obviously doesn't want to talk about. During this entire conversation, his communicator keeps ringing, but he's not going to pick it up. She says that she'll be out for a month, and he tells her, well, I may still be here when you get back. Look me up when you're back. And she's like, I really hope you're not here when I get back.
So this is probably not a super serious relationship.
No, this is, I think, captains with benefits.
Yeah, probably.
Two ships who pass in the night, so to speak. So, Pike being the created during the cowboy era kind of guy he is, he jumps on a horse and goes for a ride in the snow. I have only ridden one horse in the snow, and I would never do it again, especially not for fun. My dad had this crazy horse that only he could touch or get near, and he could fire a rifle right from its back. Anybody else got near it, it would kick and bite. And so I had to ride this thing through a couple feet of snow one time, and I was like, no, I quit riding horses shortly after that. I was like, nope, that's it. That damn thing's crazy, and I want no part of it.